Why, hello there! Welcome to my channel. My name is Daxx. This is Encrypted Angels Nursery, and today we are doing a hashtag. We are doing Disney Monday. Yes, we are. So yes, and last Disney Monday, one of my questions involved a Lady and the Tramp. And I told you all that this time everything today is all about Lady and the Tramp. So all the trivia, true and false questions. By the way, if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. It is on the second Monday of every month that I do a hashtag Disney, a Disney hashtag, and with that, I cover 3 to 4 trivia questions in true or false form. I'll give you the statement, give you guys a few seconds to decide if you think it's true or false, and then I'll tell you what the actual answer is. And most of the time I have additional information with it, and this week is no different. I got some good stuff, or at least I think it's some good stuff about Lady and the Tramp, you guys. By the way, this is Meadow. Her name is Meadow in my nursery, but also, because I love that name, but also her sculpt name is Meadow. So, yes. So her sculpt name is Meadow, but she's also Meadow in my nursery. Alright, let's get into it. Ignore her hair. It's fine. It's fine. So her hair's just fine, huh? Okay. Alright, so the first question is... Walt Disney loved Joe Grant's idea of a dog getting used to or accustomed to a new baby in the house. What do you guys think? True or false? Walt Disney, I'll say it again. Walt Disney loved Joe Grant's idea of a dog getting used to a new baby in the house. True or false? What do you guys think? Alright. Are you guys ready for the answer? It is false. He hated it. He hated the idea. He absolutely hated it. Yeah. Walt Disney hated the idea. In fact, he hated it so much it got scrapped, and he didn't think about it again for a while. For a good long while. Okay. Oh, let me give you some additional information about that. I've got my notes. Okay. It is inspired by a real dog named Lady. The Springer Spaniel named Lady was owned by Joe Grant. And Joe Grant and his wife just had a baby. And he did some sketches of his Springer Spaniel, and he thought it would be cute to come up with the storyline of a dog getting used to a new baby in the house. And at first Walt said, yeah, go ahead, do some sketches, come up with the storyline, and we'll see. And I was like, okay. So he did. Joe Grant came up with it. So yeah, it's let's see. Let me just read the notes. It was in 1937. Disney writer Joe Grant showed Walt some sketches of his Springer Spaniel Lady, and he created a full storyboard. Of a dog dealing with a new baby in the house, and Walt hated it. So the idea was scrapped. It wasn't until several years later that Walt came across a story by Ward Green in a Cosmopolitan called Happy Dan the Whistling Dog. Now, I did some research. I really tried to find this story, and it's also can be called, what is it? Happy Dan and the Condescending Dog? No, not condescending. What is it? I can't remember, but there's another name to it too. It's Happy Dan and Listening Dog. Yeah, Anyway, so when he came across that story, Walt thought that the two stories could be combined together. So, by the way, let me show you what I'm putting on her today real quick. In light of talking about Lady and the Tramp, I went ahead and decided to put her in this little onesie. I know there's more like 101 Dalmatians, but this was the most dog-like Disney thing I had. So I'm going to put her in this polka dot onesie, and I just have some white socks. And I have a little hat. This probably goes to a Pooh Bear outfit, but I thought it was cute with the ears, so I'm going to pair it with this hat, and then just some plain white socks here. So that's what we are going to put her in. Okay, so number 2, are you guys ready? Number 2, Roy Disney, Walt Disney's brother, also disliked Lady and the Tramp, and thought Walt should scrap it. Like, never, like, scrap it and never come back to it. Like, ever. What do you guys think? Roy Disney, Walt's brother, also hated Lady and the Tramp and thought it was a terrible idea. Just terrible. And thought that Walt should scrap it completely. What do you guys think? True or false? You guys ready? False. It is false, you guys. If it wasn't for Roy Disney, Lady and the Tramp wouldn't have existed. Okay, so let me give you the storyline here, because there's some more stuff here. I can't remember exactly what the year was, but Walt Disney, and I've talked about this before in another thing, Walt Disney did some propaganda stuff for World War II. Did some things, for World War II. And it was, that took, quite some time and stuff like that, of the stuff that he did for World War II and things. And so a lot of projects got put on hold, for the Disney company. A lot of his, cartoons, movie stuff, things that he was doing, shows, whatever, that a lot of that got put on hold because of what he was doing. Anyway, it was after World War II that Roy Disney came up to Walt Disney and was like, hey, you remember that project Lady and the Tramp you were working on before all this? And Walt's like, yeah. He goes, you should think about working on that again. And Walt's like, what? At least this is how the conversation goes in my head. But yeah. So yeah, it wouldn't exist without Roy Disney. It was put on a back burner due to World War II, and it was almost completely forgotten about. I don't know if I mentioned that. It was almost completely forgotten about. Or at least Walt Disney completely forgot about it. And he would have never have thought about it again had it not been for his brother suggesting that he work on it again. So you guys, it is Roy Disney that saved Lady and the Tramp, and it wouldn't exist without him. Oh, it's so cute. So cute. Okay. All right. You guys ready for the last one? This is the last one that I have. And then I'll also mention the one that I said in the last video in case you hadn't seen that one. Alright, so the last one. You ready? Walt Disney hated the spaghetti scene. The famous spaghetti scene where Lady and the Tramp, they're eating pasta and then they're all of a sudden eating the same noodle and they come, these are their noses. Their noses come, really close to each other, and spaghetti. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. So what do you guys think? Walt Disney hated the spaghetti scene. True or false? What do you guys think? You guys ready? True! It is true. Yes, it is. It's true. Walt absolutely hated the spaghetti scene and thought it was ridiculous. So it's this is what happened to him. He thought about the reality of what it was like to watch two dogs go after the same plate of food, and if most dogs are going to fight, you know, so two dogs over a plate of food, there's fighting ensues. Growling, fighting, something, you know. So, and that's what he thought about. He thought about like how ridiculous this is, because when in reality dogs will fight over this. And it was let's see, it was Frank Thomas who showed him a rough draft of how it could work. And so finally he was like, okay, you know. So he went ahead and allowed it, but he really did not like it. Although he did want the dogs to have and portray like human qualities, human emotions, you know, and stuff like that. So he did want that realism of human emotions, but he thought that was going too far, and he did not like that scene. Did not like it. Okay, so as a couple added bonuses, I'm gonna let you guys know of what it was last week. I can't remember exactly how I stated it, but as the story goes, Walt Disney gave his wife Lillian a present, a puppy in a hat box. And yes, that scene is also in the movie. That it was his real life that inspired that particular scene, when Darling gets a present in a hot box. And yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so, and at first, as legend goes, or whatever, as the story goes, Lillian was at first really upset and mad when Walt Disney first brought in a hat box to her, because she liked to pick out her own hat. She didn't like people to pick out her you know, her hats for her. And so, but then when she saw the puppy come out of it, which by the way, it was a chow puppy. So it was a chow. And they named the puppy Sunny. And Walt Disney said that he had never seen, he said, I never saw anyone so crazy about an animal. Talking about his wife Lillian and her chow puppy. So yes, he went down saying that he never saw anybody so crazy about an animal. Let's see. A couple other tidbits that I wanted to mention about this movie that I thought was worth mentioning. It was really hard, you guys, to pick out which ones I wanted to do as true and falsest one. I tell you what, it was really hard. So here's some other good mentions that I wanted to include. Walt Disney was told he could not name a dog Tramp for a kids movie. I mean, if you think about it, sure, you know, like it makes sense. You cannot name a dog Tramp for a kids movie. But as we know, Walt Disney he usually got his way, period. He just did. He got his way. And so, yeah, not only did he name the dog Tramp, but it became the title, Lady and the Tramp. So he's like, I can't name a dog Tramp, can I? Not only am I going to name the dog Tramp, I'm going to make it the title of the movie. So that's Walt Disney for you. That is Walt Disney for you. And, oh, another little tidbit about Lady and the Tramp. Okay, so Tramp was also based off of a real dog. However, they did have to go looking for the dog. They had a lot of people, a lot of inspiration, a lot of people bringing in Springer Spaniels and stuff like that, you know, for them to draw, like for the artists and animators to draw and animate and whatnot, you know, and so, but they had a lot harder time with Tramp. They needed to find Tramp. And so they went to the local pound, and they found the perfect dog. So they found the perfect dog, and legend has it that she was just hours, and the real Tramp was a she. The real Tramp was a female, and she was just hours away from being, yeah, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it out loud, but she was just hours away from you know what. And Disney went ahead and adopted her. So Walt Disney adopted her himself, and he gave her a little place to stay in the back of the Disneyland park. So he gave her her own little place to stay, and they took good care of her until her last days. So she had a nice little place to stay, and she was the inspiration for Tramp. Yes, she was. Alright guys, well that is it for today's trivia. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's trivia about Lady and the Tramp. Meadow, oh, I forgot to give you back your friend Meadow. Here you go. So here's your friend back. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here's Meadow and her giraffe. And yeah, there we go. Alright guys, we'll see you We'll see you next time. Until then, have a doll-tastic time. See you later. Bye.